Hey everyone, it's Angie. Today I have a cute little treat box to share with you. It is this gingerbread box. It has a different kind of opening to this one because you'll need to pull this little forward and then you would put your treats inside there. If you're going to put loose treats like M&Ms or something, I would put it in a food safe bag and then put it in there. But yeah, these just tuck back in there. And we have our little gingerbread house. This side opens as well, but you can do whichever side you want. Y'all, I wanted to put gumdrops all the way around this edge here. You can do that if you want. I may do it later, but I thought, it might be a little overkill. But if you want to do that, you can do that. I just put these little, like the little gingerbread squigglies on the top and then put some little like gumdrops here and here, and then created a door with our everyday arches, and then I use this little gingerbread here for the front. So this is what I'm sharing today. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name's Angie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I post on Tuesdays and Sundays. And today we're making the gingerbread box. So what we're going to use for this, I'm going to show you the stamp sets and everything because there's quite a bit that I'm using, but you can use whatever you have. So I'm using the Gingerbread Man bundle. So it is this one right here, and most of the dies that I'm using for this are from this one. So I'm using that little squiggly from here. I'm using the little peppermint from here. I'm using the gumdrops from here. But I wanted to use the little gingerbread from Homemade Treats. So this is the one that I'm using here. You can actually use these little candy canes for the sides of the houses. I thought about that. There's so much you can do with these two. And then we are using the stylish shapes as usual. And I am using the second largest for this. And this is for the rooftop. And then we're using the everyday arches, and I'm using the smallest one there, and that is for, I'm going to show you the dies here. So this is the everyday arches one that I'm using, and then the square. I cut all these pieces out already, by the way. This little lollipop, this is the squiggle, and you do need 6 of these little squigglies, and then this is for the gingerbread, and the gumdrops, and the little candy, which you can make as also a lollipop. So those are all that we're using for this project today. I'm using pecan pie for the cardstock. This is 8.5 by 6.5. By the way, all the measurements are in an inspiration sheet on my blog at StampingWithAmore.com. And I already cut out, like I said, all the pieces for this. So we are going to just stamp the gingerbread, cut him out, and get the box ready to go. It's really an easy box to do. I'm going to use pecan pie for the gingerbread because this is the perfect color for him. And then I did the gumdrops as well, and I did them in the green, garden green, and real red. So I already stamped those, and I cut out 2 at a time because we have 2 sets of dies for the gumdrops. So I did 1 red and 1 green. So the ones on the front here will be opposite. This will be red and that will be green. But it works out. All right, so I'm going to use the die for the gingerbread. I'm going to take it to the cut and emboss, and I'm going to cut that one out right there. And there we have our little gingerbreads. And by the way, this little everyday arches, I did not make it the full size. I just cut it shorter. So I just laid it like on the cardstock like that and then cut it out shorter because it was a little too tall for the gingerbread house. All right, let's get making the house. So we are going to score this. And let me grab my wax paper because I forgot to do it. And we are going to score this. So on the 8.5 inch side, you're going to score it at 1/2, 2.5, 4.5, and 6.5. And then you're going to turn it on the 6.5 inch side, and you're going to do it at 1/2, 2.5, and 4.5. And that is it. Now you can also mat this if you want to with some designer series paper, and in the inspiration sheet I'll put the measurements for matting it. All right, so we are going to cut this. The side that has the 1/2 inch side, that is going to be our top part. So what we're going to do first, let's do the bottom here, and let's just cut up each one of these to the first score mark there. And we're going to cut this 1/2 inch piece off here on the side. This is going to be our glue tab on this side. And then we're going to just cut this side too. So let me cut into that. And you're going to cut those off on that side. So you're only going to have that one piece right there. All right, so on this one, I'm going to cut like every other one here. Cut into it so it folds into our box nicer. I'll do it on this one too. All right, now on this top one, we're going to cut these two off, leave this one, and we're going to cut this 1/2 piece off here. So it'd probably be best just to cut down on all these too. So just cut down on all of these first. This is a little bit of a different box. I did design this one myself, but it works really good because I used it last time I made it. We're going to cut this top off here, this 1/2 inch off, and then this one too. So you're only going to have that one right there, and this is going to be a glue tab, and it's going to be for our roof. All right, so we need to do a little bit of hand scoring here, and I'm going to take my little pen and mark so that you can see it here on this one and this one, on both sides of the one that we have the glue tab in. You're going to mark it at 1 inch because these are 2 inches across. So just mark 1 inch there and 1 inch here. And you know I like doing this kind of stuff. Now what you're going to do here is you are going to, let me grab my pencil here. You're going to cut from that point to the corner here, and from this point to the corner here. Upside down V. Same on this one. But I'm just going to use my big scissors and hand cut it, free cut it, because these scissors will go all the way to those corners. So it's really nice to have a pair of big scissors like this. I wish Stampin' Up! Would bring them back. I have put it in the suggestion box a few times, but just never have. And then that corner to this one right here. These are the ones that are going to fold into our box, these two little pieces here. All right, so let's go ahead and sharpen all these score marks because you know it's super important to do that. All right, so they are all sharpened now. We can put it together. We're going to put glue on this side, and let's see if my Seal Plus will work. And we're going to fold this. Make sure you line up your score marks really good, because that is important. And then we're going to fold the bottoms back. Now these are going to be the front of the box here, so you want to fold these in. And I actually did that backwards, so we're just going to, let's do it this way. I'm going to put some on both of these so it folds down good on both sides here. So make sure it's sealed down good. I cut into the wrong section is what I meant, but it's going to be just fine. You know, they're handmade and nobody's going to look on the bottom, right? All right, so this is our roof here. So we are gonna, before we do this, you wanna take your bone folder and you want to kind of curve these. It actually helps for them to fold in. Don't go crazy, just do it lightly, like that. All right, now I'm gonna add adhesive to the top right here. And you're gonna fold that down, and this is gonna be our roof right here. So you can see these will fold in really easy now. So they're just gonna fold in just like that. And I pull them out so that they're not so tucked in so much. That's why I said don't curl them too much. And then that's what our box is gonna look like. Now let's add our little roof and our decorations. So for the roof, I'm gonna get our pieces here. You're gonna use the 2 for the stylish shapes. Let's see, I'll tell you what size these are. Do 2 3/4 by 2, not 3/4, 2 3/8 by 2 3/8 about. And I'm gonna grab my wet glue, and we need to put these all on 3 sides of this. So I'll do one for you, and then I'll speed through the other one. So you wanna put 1 on the bottom, and then 2 on the sides, and you can go all the way around the whole thing if you want to. I just wanted to put some little colored like lights up at the top, and then you're just gonna put this one, and then 1 more. And I try to line these little curves up there. All right, so that's one. I'm going to do the other one for you, and I'll just speed through this one. Okay, so those are ready to go. We're going to adhere them to the top of this. I'm going to use wet glue again on this. And you want to make sure these are covered pretty good, because you're going to line one up at the top here. And also, you want to make sure it's right to the edge. They're a little bit above the edge, I should say, because the roof is going to meet at the top. And you want to make sure that they are the same size. You can see on the sides here that they're the same. All right, and let's do this one. And just have those meet right to the top there. And there's our little roof. Isn't it cute? I love the little roof. This kind of, to me, makes it look more like a gingerbread house with the little squigglies. All right, and then we are going to, let's put our little peppermint here on. And I'm just cutting the lollipop part off. And this is actually the opposite. Again, I did one in red and one in white. So you can use, if you're making 2, you can use your lollipop. You can do them the opposite and make your peppermints look the opposite. Ooh, I don't have my words. I'm under the weather today, y'all. I'm not feeling that great. But yeah, sorry about that. All right, so let's find our front, what we want to use for our front. And we are going to put this gingerbread right here. The gingerbread, see what I mean, y'all? The peppermint. We're going to put it right here. And you want to put it down there so you can see it better. It's going to be one of those days, y'all. It just is going to be one of those days. It is early in the morning, too. All right. I'm not going to push that in too far because I don't want it to fall off. All right, so now we're going to grab the door here. And by the way, the door, I made it It's about 1.5 inches tall. So we're going to put that one on here. And I'm using crumb cake for that. And we're going to go ahead and let's add our little dots at the top. Candy or whatever you want to call it. So I just grabbed a bunch of scrap I had out here. And you're going to just use a regular hole punch for this. And just punch out a bunch of these. Because you are going to need a bunch to go around the top here and around the house right down here. We're not going to use the red for the roof because you can't see it very well. But I'm going to see if I have enough here. I'll just keep punching. We'll do some yellow. And some blue. All right, let's see if that's enough. If not, we can punch a couple more. All right, so we are going to just start putting it. Let's put it here first. And let me grab my Take Your Pick tool. Well, I have it out here already. And we're going to just start layering these. I just did whatever way that you want. You can put colors the way you like them. And then let's use another red one because we're not going to use it on the top. All right, so we got those on there, and then we're going to put them all along here and on this side of the roof. So let me hold it here and okay, so I got them all on there. I had to punch another green one because I didn't have enough green. But yeah, that's how they go. Try to make them straight. You can see I kind of struggled with the first row getting them on. But, oh, and I need to punch out one in the pecan pie because we need a doorknob. And let me grab my glue. I love this little point on here. It's so good for this kind of stuff. I'm going to pop up one of our gumdrops here. I'm going to glue the first one on the bigger one. And then we're going to pop up the little, with the little, I'm going to put a glue dot, mini glue dot. Actually, I'm just using the sides of it because I don't like to waste it. So let's put that one on. Pop that up right there. And then we're going to pop up the gingerbread man. And y'all, forgot to put the ribbon on, but we're going to do it. We're going to do it. If you don't want the, I did it as like an ornament here, but you don't have to do the ornament. But when what you're supposed to do is do it before you glue the roof on. So I'm going to see if I could pull this back a little bit. Y'all, I make mistakes just like everybody else. So I'm going to grab some of our trim here. It's the gold. I'm going to use the silver this time. And just cut a small piece. And I want to glue it on the inside, so I'm going to add some glue down here. And then I'll have to glue back the top. Yeah, you want to do this before you put your roof on. If you don't want it, the hang it on a tree or hang it anywhere, then you don't need to do this part. Let me see if I can get this roof part back now. And then I'm going to have to add a little bit more glue to the tops of these. I don't want to mess it up, y'all. And you don't have to pull back a whole lot. I think it's going to be too long, so let me cut this a little bit here. Tuck that in there. And let me add some more glue. I hate when I do this in a video where I gotta pull something apart, but it does happen. And then you want to hold this tight now because it's got that ribbon in there. And you want to make sure your roof is closed at the top. And I kind of bent that a little bit, so I'm going to try to fix that there. Yeah, that's good. All right. So there you have it with that on. Try to remember that part because I knew I was going to forget it. I almost forgot it when I did the one that I made. So then just pull that back, put your candy in there, and you are ready to go. So there you go. Aren't they cute though? I hope you like it. If you don't want to put the ribbon on, you don't have to do that part either. I just thought they'd be cute to hang on the tree for my little grandkids, the great-grandkids, and, you know, fill it with some candy for them. All right, everyone, I hope you all have a blessed day. I hope you enjoyed it. The inspiration sheet is on my blog at StampingWithAmore.com. And if you need any supplies, you can shop right on my blog. Have a blessed day, everyone. I'll catch you in the next one. See you later, everyone. Bye.